What was it like working with the Wolfpack? Tell me about the whole between you guys.
It was fun. Like, it was crazy. Like, right when we first met each other, it seemed like we've known each other for years. Like, the first day we were all together, we were just sitting there geeking, chilling, having fun. Like, we were all excited about the project. We were all just waiting to get everything done, just get it rolling.
Basically, it's just connection, like chemistry. We all hang out off set as much as we do on set. We first had the readings. I came in with like 6 of my cousins, and it was just Denzel on one side, Brendan on one side, and we read, and all my cousins was there, and I was just like the one who had to like step out. I was like, I'm gonna get this. I don't care what none of y'all gonna do. This is gonna be my rule, and I'm gonna chill, and yeah, definitely. So later on that day, DT called me and was like, yeah, Shorty with the high top fade, we want him, yeah. So I was like, yes, and all my cousins was in the car like, oh yeah. So yeah, definitely, that was definitely a good look.
The Wolfpack, it seems like they had the mindset where they wanted money. That was their key goal. Really all it comes down to is fast money isn't good money.
Every day is a blessing for them, because when you're young and you out there doing things like that, any day can be your day. You can be gone the day of tomorrow. And the reason that they're called the Wolfpack, out of my decision, is because they're relentless. They don't care about nothing. I mean, they want something out of life. And the streets, they think that's them. They think they're gonna get it out of life by going in the streets, and just like the Wolfpack and everybody else, they find out the hard way.
Raising wolves is an important topic because just the title in itself just really tells you that life out there in the street is so hard and so real, and it's really all about survival of the fittest. And when you're out there with a bunch of wolves, you have to be strong. So it really pushes that point, and it really kind of tells you like, hey, look, if you're going to be out here, whether it's your choice or whether it's not your choice, this is who you have to be. And also there's consequences in what you choose and how you choose to be. So in saying that, it's just very important, I think, to speak to young people today, because the entertainment industry gives such a false outlook of life and expectancy of life as far as money and material things that's out there. And this movie just covers all of that all around, and it really shows you the flip side of it all. You know, all the behind the scenes of it all, and not the glitz and glamour of it. Just the real hard truth of, hey, you want to be about money and you want to be about, you know, this and that and the third. This is what happens when you're about that. You know what they say, more money, more problems, and it's so true.
I mean, you got 13, 14-year-old children going to prison for 3 life sentences. You have them dying at the age of 14, 15. It's like a whole generation. It's pretty much erasing itself because of the streets. And I think that Raising Wolves is a movie that needs to be put out there so people can actually see what's going on, what's really going on in the streets as far as these teens are concerned. You know, we hear about it, we see about it, but we really don't pay too much attention to it. It might be in the news for 3-4 minutes and that's it. But as far as sitting there in a movie for 2.5 hours and seeing what this youth is going through, it might just open the eyes of a lot of different people to help out more.
Do you see any similarities between yourself and your character, personality-wise?
I mean, I see a lot of similarities between myself and my character, because what goes around comes around, you know? I mean, as me being my character, I done been him before. I mean, I didn't shout at people, I done been shot at. I've been shot at my head. I mean, as my character, that's me. And that's how I played that role. I mean, I seen him as being me, because at some point in time, I was him, you know? You couldn't tell me nothing. I mean, in and out of jail, doing negative things. I mean, it ain't life. I mean, when you wake up, man, it's a good possibility that you can do a lot of things with your life, rather than just sitting home. I mean, some people, man, they cool with life, you know? I mean, sit home, Section 8. I mean, it's more to life than that, man. I mean, you die, you gotta leave your family something.
Right.
You know, I mean, you could die today, tomorrow, you ain't got no insurance or nothing. Who wanna pay for your funeral?
Right.
Funeral ain't a couple $100, man. You can't take a pair of sneakers and take them out to the funeral house. Tell them, can I exchange this basket?
Raising Wolves is about displaying, I guess, the inner most demons of the streets and how they take over our children, they take over our families, and it's depicting what the reality is of different hoods, different streets, and showing the real side of what happens when you get caught up and how.
Basically, it's just connection, like chemistry. We all hang out offset as much as we do on set.
Raise your children, raise your families.
Okay.
The film has a very realistic message. It's kind of one of those live by the sword, die by the sword type things. It might seem for a minute that the film is glamorizing, you know, this gangster lifestyle, but at the end of the day, everybody gets hurt, either locked up or killed. Relationships are ended. It's sending a message that says, make good decisions.
The message I believe the film has is one that you would, well, I would perceive that the audience would get inadvertently. They see the crime, they see the action, and they see the glitz and the glamour, but at the end of the day, they see the consequences. So, in the end, the moral of the story is karma.
Okay. What is your favorite scene?
The film, the message that I would say is to really just watch it back, because you never know whose eyes are on you. You know, and I just think, like I said, some of the topics that it deals with as far as betrayal, it's an eye-opener, and it gives you like this sort of look and this sort of vision, like I really need to pay attention to what's going on in today's society, because you never know who's being affected by it.
Raising Wolves speaks to a part of the population that a lot of people disregard, you know? And anytime the camera focuses on something that society chooses to ignore, it makes everyone think about that subject, forces you to really pay attention, really see problems. And not only problems, but it forces you to see people maybe in a way that you wouldn't have seen them before, you know? This is showing people's humanity. People are sad, people are crying, they're losing people they care about. People are grinding like they just want money so they can live. It's not just hardcore gangsters out here shooting people because it's the cool thing to do, you know?
Okay, so what I need you to do is look into the camera.
Raising wolves is such an important topic because it's a jungle out here. And I think that's appropriate.
Well, being a young black man and seeing the decisions some of my character made and seeing some of my co-hosts have made, it's definitely incorporates in my life. Because I moved out of my mom's when I was 17, like while shooting this film. So, like, making certain decisions in life is important for your growth. Not as a man, not as a woman, not as whoever you are, whatever you do, but as a person, spiritually, it helps you.
My favorite scene, I think it was me and my first scene was me and my mother when I left the house. Basically, I packed my things, and I would just say because it kind of just reminded me, me and my mother, we didn't have the best relationship, so it was my best scene because of that. But it reminded me of that, and just kind of helped me to get in character a lot. And I guess we did the role over and over again. So I guess, you know, as we, you know, kept doing it over, it got better and better. But just kind of put me into perspective, you know, kind of how, you know, it was back then, you know, when me and my mother had that type of relationship.
One thing about Derek is, if he believes in you, he believes in you, and he'll help groom you as far as being an actor. So he'll develop your character as much as he wants it to be developed, and which in turn helps you later on in the future, because you learn more about acting than just pretty much coming in there and reading lines and then just, you know what I'm saying, just performing it. He actually works with you and brings out the best in you if it's in there.
Mr. Thomas, that's my homie. I've known Derek for a few years now. Wow, I would probably say it's been probably 5+ years now, and very, very talented brother. I've always been drawn to Derek because of his professionalism. He's extremely professional in what he does, and I always admired that and respected that. We've worked with different projects together, such as like video shoots, poetry readings, things like that. So this particular project right here that we've been doing with Raising Wolves has just been phenomenal, because there's just so much more. So it's really interesting to see Derek and bring out his professionalism and his perfectionist side. You know, he's such a perfectionist, and it's kind of like, I feel like I know him so well now. It's like I can almost depict that when we do a scene, I'm like, okay, and he'll say, okay, it's a wrap, you know, we're good with that scene, we're not going to do with that anymore. And I'll be like, watch, when we'll get a call probably about 6 weeks later, and he'll be like, you know, we got to go back and do something with that. And I'll be like, that's why I kept that shirt that I wore. I was getting ready to throw it away. I'm so glad I kept it. I'm so glad I kept this and that and the third. So it's just knowing that he's such a perfectionist and he just wants things to be on point, and I absolutely love that about him.
Just being able to socialize with Derek, you know, the director. You know, Derek is really a good guy, you know what I'm saying? And just the cast, there was no egos, you know, everybody was cool. Me coming from, you know, like shows such as The Wire, it just felt like home, you know what I'm saying? It felt like, and then I was back in Baltimore. So, you know, I'm from DC, and to come back to Baltimore, not for The Wire, but to do a film, it was just a great experience. I love the environment.
Derek, is he, hold on, is he going to see this? No, Derek, he's a great guy. He's very inspiring. He challenges you to take your characters to the next level. He challenges you to become the character. Anything that you have to do, whether you need to go smoke a cigarette, listen to music, whatever it is to get into the zone, he challenges you to get into that place and to become that character and to deliver. He's all about results and delivering. So I believe that he's going to go really far, and Raising Wolves is just the tip of the iceberg.
Derek's hilarious, you know, and I really admire him. I have a lot of respect for him, because I know, I know it's difficult to coordinate a project this large with so many people involved. I don't even know how many people are in the cast, but I know that there's a lot of people in this film. So I have a lot of respect for Derek, because he made it happen. It took a long time. Like, we've been filming this movie for a long time, but it was cool. And he's flexible too. We can bend the script. I can show up late sometimes, and you know, he doesn't kirk out. So he's an understanding dude.
My favorite moment was seeing one of my co-stars have their face smashed into a cake and just cake everywhere. That was one of my favorite moments.
Oh my gosh, actually, you know, we actually create favorite moments every time we get together and do a different scene. Everybody is just so talented and so interesting. Everyone brings so many different things to the table. The fact that there are females that carry such a dominant role and such a, you know, they have such a dominant presence in this film, which is so unusual. Usually it's guys that are like leading the roles, and you know, we have very, very strong females that are playing these characters. I think it's just really interesting. So when we all get together, it's just a lot of fun.
My favorite scene, well, I don't want to get people twisted, but my favorite scene would have to be when I have an encounter with the young lady and we get into an altercation and I have to kind of like give her the backhand. I mean, the only reason why I'm not saying that to degrade the women, you know what I'm saying? But the only reason why I'm saying that is because this is a different role for me, and you know, to be able to study that character and portray that character, it was sort of fun. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was that. I mean, to be honest, man, the whole movie overall is just a great look. You know, it's a great movie.
Well, my favorite moment in making the movie Raising Wolves, I think it would be just dealing with the cast, and you know, because we're close knit, you know, family. This like the third movie that I've done with this crew. You know, Division Records. You know, that's my family right there. And me and Trey and you know all the other guys, Nelson and everybody, we're close friends. So doing the movie Raising Wolves is just another part of what we've been doing for the long haul. Dirk is a very intelligent guy, all the way from Charm City to Raising Wolves. It is his frame of mind, his outlook on things. He always be on point with the type of movies that he make, and I think Raising Wolves is going to be a very strong movie.